Hey ho, it's Marco Catania with What Would It Be Otherwise, another study aid for the subject ITI 597, and a subject that covers IT service management according to ITIL version 3. Hey, today I want to have a closer look at the Deming cycle, also known as the PDCA cycle, the Deming cycle. Yeah, the Deming cycle, from this guy called Dr. W. Edwards Deming. A fantastic, simplistic model, but extremely powerful. He says, whatever you're going to do in an organization, thou shalt plan first. Thou shalt plan what you're going to do, and thou shalt also plan how you're going to measure whether or not you're doing those things well enough. So you plan first, then you do the stuff you want to do. You implement, you go live, you start to deliver. You check whether or not you're delivering against targets, and if not, you take action. Okay, action could be like, for example, you're adjusting a system or you're improving a system. How? Well, you're going to plan it again. You're going to plan those improvements. So it becomes like a continuous, never-ending cycle of like plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act. There's also QA, quality assurance, which prevents the quality circle from rolling down the hill. Once people are like accustomed to like working with new processes, we want to keep them there. We don't want them to like fall back into their old habits. So that's why we need QA in place. Plan, the first step of the Deming cycle. Think of planning, think of preparation, getting ready, initiation, setting up, and it's all about preparing. It's all about planning what you're going to do, are about to do, want to do, need to do, or would like to do. Okay? Some keywords you should be thinking of probably. Scope, what's in scope, what's out scope. Integration with like other services and other systems. Milestones, resources you need like people, time and budget. Risks, both positive and negative. Measurement, remediation if something goes wrong. Quality assurance that needs to be built into your services. Roles and responsibilities, who's going to do what. Improvement along the way, because typically if you deliver something it won't be static. Communication, how do we communicate with each other? And what type of stuff do we need to buy? So also think of procurement. So it's almost like all the parts, yeah, these are all the parts that you also typically find in like project management environments. So it's all about planning, it's all about getting ready. Do, the second step of the Deming cycle. Think about implementing, actualizing, realizing, building, creating, rolling out stuff, deploying stuff. So it's very active. It's all about doing what you've planned for in the planning phase. So some verbs I probably want you to think of are like we communicate, we recruit, we research, we procure, we build, we document, we meet, we deploy, we deliver, we support, we maintain, we operate. So we're like the busy bees. We're doing stuff, we're actively involved in building and delivering and supporting IT services. So it's all about doing. Check, the third step of the Deming cycle. Think of monitoring, measuring, controlling, evaluating, inspecting, all those words, okay? It's all about checking you're doing things right and you're doing the right things. You need to monitor data, collect it, inspect the data, do we have the right data, analyze the data, confirm we've got the right stuff, trending the data so we get some real information. Comparing the data against like set baselines, our goals and our key performance indicators, our KPIs. We need to evaluate whether or not we're doing the right stuff, and typically I would say we also need to report to someone, typically like management, so some actions can be taken in the next step. So it's all about checking the environment here. Yeah, step number 4, act. Think about words like improving, adjusting, correcting, intervening, controlling, directing, all these words. It's all about acting on the information that comes available from the previous phase, the checking phase. So, maybe if we're not like delivering against targets, do we need more resources, like more people? Do we need to like adjust our processes or rewrite our processes? Do we need to procure more technology? Or do we need to work together with like other partners? Do we have the right capabilities? Maybe we should like create more capabilities, more skills in our organization to deliver against targets in the future. Maybe we need to make like cultural or structural changes. We may have to reinforce certain policies. We may need to provide more training. We may have to like increase or lower our targets. So next time we can provide against targets. We may need to communicate more or better or in a different way. We may have to like roll out new services or change existing ones. So actually IT stays aligned with the changing business requirements. It's all about taking action. And then there is like quality assurance, QA, that prevents like the quality circle from rolling down the hill. It's the wedge, okay? Think of words like ensuring, assuring, reassuring, safeguarding, protecting, double checking, a big brother. It's all about assuring that agreed practices are being adhered to. Now, but also in the future. So think about words like auditing, verifying you're doing the right stuff, getting like an independent view or like a second opinion, making sure you're like building in the proper like quality controls as part of your you're making them part of your processes, intervening when things go wrong, justifying against, for example, like your auditors that you are doing the right stuff. You want to make sure you align IT in the business. You want to make sure that people follow their roles and responsibilities. The right people are accountable and the right people are like responsible for certain activities. So think of like the RASI adherence and using and following like the RASI charts. So you want to make sure that the organization keeps direction. And probably for a lot of organizations nowadays, very important is like actually getting certified, for example, in like ISO IEC 20000 or like ISO IEC like 38500. Okay, so it's all about like quality assurance here. Okay, practice what you preach. Of course, it's all about getting to understand the concept of the PDCA cycle, also known as the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle. You're contemplating a trip around the world in 80 days. So how does PDCA actually affect you? If you think of planning, vaccinations, visas, destinations, the weather, language barriers, all that stuff needs to be planned for. Do? Okay, hop on a boat, airplane, train, air balloon, whatever. Check. Are we where we thought we would be? And act, I don't know, shortening or lengthening your trip based upon your available budget. So think about like some more examples you can add to this list if you want to apply, if you're trying to apply the PDCA like model or the PDCA cycle. Yeah, what's up, Doc? It's a simple question. Hey, which one of the following statements describes the correct sequence of the Deming cycle? Answer A, plan, do, check, act. Answer B, do, plan, act, check. Answer C, check, do, plan, act. And answer D, plan, do, act, check. They all look similar, don't they? Hey, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about the answer, and then we'll move on. Okay, of course the answer is answer A. And the PDCA cycle stands for plan, do, check, and act. Okay, next topic. We're going to define and explain the continual service improvement model, also known as the CSI model. Of course, described in the volume Continual Service Improvement. Hey, until then, live long and prosper, nano, and as always, I'll be back.